Assalamu alaikum طلاب. After discussing the number of noun, gender of noun, now let us deal with the third characteristic of nouns, which is case. Generally speaking, nouns have two cases. Case, the form in which the noun can have. So there are two forms. What are they? Or a noun has two forms or two cases: coming case and genitive case. So let us read here. As distinct from personal pronouns like he, she, it, English nouns have a two-case system. يعني a case system having two forms or two cases. The unmarked coming case, the normal form, the usual form of a noun, which is called unmarked. Unmarked form called coming case, like boy, girl, door, window, without any addition. See, like boy here. And the marked genitive case. Marked genitive case. Here I have apostrophe plus S. Here apostrophe S. Up to this point I do not know whether this is what kind of the S here. Up to this point is S genitive. S genitive. Not S possessive. It is S genitive. Since the functions of the coming case can be seen only in the syntactic relation of the noun phrase, subject, object, it is the function of the genitive that needs separate secretarial. Here, the coming case, boy, girl, a boy, window, man, woman, كذا, it can be subject of the sentence, object of the sentence, maybe subject complement, object complement, adverbial, كذا. But what needs to be discussed, it is what the genitive case. Let us see the functions of the genitive case. Before having the functions, let us see the forms. Genitive case or genitive of nouns have two forms, either called S genitive and of genitive. S genitive and of genitive. طبعا this is what is here. It is a description for how to pronounce the S genitive when added to nouns. طبعا when I add apostrophe plus S genitive to the noun, I change the case of the noun from the coming case to the genitive case. The S genitive of regular nouns is realized in speech only in the singular. What it takes one of the forms is the sep. Following the rules for S inflections. In writing, طبعا بالpronunciation, I say what? Boys. I say, for example, doors. طبعا I add door, apostrophe, then S. طبعا the pronunciation of this addition is different from or differs from noun to noun according to the final sound it has. But in writing, the inflection of regular nouns is realized in singular by S genitive, طبعا apostrophe plus S, and in the plural by putting an apostrophe after the plural. See? Let us see these variations. They are not that important, but let us deal with them. The spies were arrested. Spies. The spy's companion was a woman. The spy's companions were women in each case. If you look at the pronunciation of spies, it is the same pronunciation but the form of the noun is different. Here, the spies were arrested. It is only the plural form of the noun. But here I have the singular form, apostrophe, then I have the S genitive. The singular form of the noun, apostrophe, then I have the singular form. Then I have here spies. I have the plural form of the verb noun, followed by the apostrophe, followed by the apostrophe. So, if you have a plural noun, you want to make the genitive case for the plural noun, just add S genitive. طبعا هذه بالregular pronoun, by the way, regular plural. It could of course also be this S form of the verb as he spies. You see the same pronunciation. By contrast, an irregular noun like man preserves a number distinction independently of genitive marker and genitive plural. And say what? Man, singular form, common case. Man, plural form, common case. Man's, singular form, genitive case. Man's, plural, it is what? Genitive case. Why? Because it has an irregular plural. Like if a noun has a regular plural, so here just having S to the noun. Again, we have certain nouns that have zero genitive, يعني without S. With the Greek names of more than one syllable, as in Euripides. Here, Euripides, it is just adding apostrophe without S. Euripides plate. With many other names ending in Z, where in speech zero is variant of regular is genitive. There is facilitation both in pronunciation and spelling of these names, but most commonly the pronunciation is form and the spelling an apostrophe on it. Thus burns. So what burns is, and burns, it ends with the sound. When if I want to add the S genitive, so banizes. Yeah, so you can say either this or that. With fixed expressions of the form for sake, as in for goodness sake. For goodness sake. Here there is no S genitive, just adding apostrophe. For conscious sake, again, just adding. If you look why, if you want to say why, because they end with S, goodness or conscious, you see, they end with S, so there is no need for an S genitive, just adding apostrophe to show that the noun has the has the genitive case. So what are the forms? They are either S genitive or of genitive. Let us see. In many instances, there is a functional similarity, indeed semantic identity, between a noun in the genitive case and the same noun as a head in prepositional a phrase. يعني grammatical and again and functional and semantic identity. Why? Because these are the two forms of genitive or the cases of noun. We refer to the S genitive when لما أقول for the inflection، يعني لما أحول الnoun from the common case وأضيف الapostrophe then the S, it is called inflection as genitive. And to the of genitive called for the prepositional form. يعني هسه if I want to ask what are the two cases of noun, you should say it is S genitive and of genitive. وأقدر أسمي S genitive it is what? inflectional. والof genitive it is called prepositional. Okay. What is the ship's name? What is the name of the ship? What is the ship's name? You see, كانت الكمن case هسه ship common case. I change it to the genitive case. Say what? Add apostrophe, then I add the adjective. Again, I can have the prepositional form. What is the name of the ship? What is the name of the ship? How they call the prepositional هي of genitive. Again, there are usually compelling reasons for preparing one or other construction in a given case, and numerous environments in which only one construction is grammatically acceptable. The degree of similarity and overlap has led grammarians to regard the two constructions as variant forms of the genitive. So this my question is, or may ask me, is it free? Is it that easy to change each noun, every noun from the common case to the two forms of the genitive case? يعني each noun I am able to change or to have the noun يعني freely to have the adjective, and at the same time it has the prepositional or of genitive. No, there are some sort of limitations and restrictions. Let us see. By the way, when I say genitive, if you say what apostrophe is, it is not that necessarily, by the way, to be possessive. No, it doesn't mean only possessive. As we have said, as we are going to see, that I have 7 meanings for genitive. 7 meanings for genitive. First of all, let us see what are they, and then we are going to see what are the structures in which I use s, what are the structures in which I use of. The first and the most common case called possessive genitive. اللي هي normal, what we have now. The normal is what called possessive, in which there is some sort of owning or a relation between someone owns something, or something, or some animal, for example, what owns or has something, has or have. Let me give you these examples. My son's wife. يعني my son. طبعا هذه analog, the paraphrasing. My son has a wife. Mrs. Johnson's passport. Mrs. Johnson has a passport. Let us see. Let us make a comparison, or let us make let us see these nouns. This is a noun. It's connected with this noun. If you look at son, it is animate, personal. Son again, it is animate, personal. They are both of them are what? Persons. They are connected by the S genitive. Again, I have my Mrs. Johnson's passport. Mrs. Johnson's is what? A human person. But passport is not a human. It is inanimate. Okay? So means Mrs. Johnson's has a passport. It is okay. But when I say the gravity of the earth, but gravity and the earth, they are what? Non or inanimate, jamad, non-personal. If you look, they are what? I do not here use the S genitive. I use the of genitive. S genitive, not S, it is of genitive. Yeah. Yeah. The second meaning of genitive, it is what? Subjective genitive. in which in the analog the noun with adjective becomes the subject of the in the analog. The boy's application means, this doesn't mean that the boy has an application. No, means the boy applied. His parents consent. His parents consented. The rise of the sun. The sun rose. طبعا هنا تشوفون boy is animate, personal, human. Application non-human, non-personal. You see, as genitive. Parents, it is a human. Consent, non-human. But again, I have the S. And by the way, parents, it is a plural. تشوفون, we put the S or the apostrophe after the S plural. يعني, again, there is no need to add the S genitive, just the apostrophe. But when I say the rise of the sun, I use of. I cannot say the sun's rise. Why? Because sun and rise, both of them are non-personal, non-human. Move to the objective case or objective genitive. Objective genitive, say, in which the noun with adjective becomes the subject or the object of the analog. The family's support. Someone supports the family. The boy's release. Someone released the boy. هنا تشوفون family boy refer to persons, to human, ده أضيف لهم S genitive. But when I say this a statement of the facts, both statement and facts, both of them are non-human. So I say what? Of, not S. Genitive of origin. What is the origin of a noun with S? The girl's story. Say what? The girl told the story. Here go, it is personal, it takes the S genitive. The general's letter. Here general, طبعا general هذا general بالجيش يعني general's letter, it is what? Again, it takes the S genitive because it is human. Say what? The general wrote a letter. The wines of France. Say wines of France, both of them are inanimate, so I use of, not S. Again, move to the fifth one, which is what? A descriptive genitive. Just to what? Describe the noun of with S genitive. A women's college, a college for women. A summer's day, a summer day, a day in the summer. A doctor's degree, the degree of the doctor, طبعا هذه it is both of them. A doctoral degree or a doctorate, and it is okay to have both of them. Genitive of measure and partitive genitive. Genitive of measure and partitive genitive. 10 days absence. Now both of them, so you say both of them are inanimate المفروض, لكن they takes the S genitive. An absence of 10 days, like it at the same time it takes the two forms. The height of the tower, part of the problem. And by the way, أكثر شيء اللي ما بين ambiguity genitive of measure والappositive genitive. هذه دائما ياخذن شنو ال of genitive. Yeah, the appositive genitive. The city of York. York is a city. The pleasure of meeting you is a pleasure.